We are all passionate about preparing students for life, work, and citizenship. The question is, are we doing everything possible to ensure the best preparation? Let's consider the facts. According to an article published online by CNN Money in 2013, the U.S. Army, State Department, and New York Police Department can't find enough workers with world language proficiency. Neither can Fortune 500 companies, hospitals, courts, or schools. Even more surprising, business owner and author Edward Trunell found that 200,000 Americans lose out on jobs every year because they lack the language skills these jobs require. Why are so many Americans entering the job market without these skills? Because in school systems throughout America, students are allowed and sometimes even encouraged to exit grade 12 without ever developing world language and cultural proficiency. U.S. Secretary of Education Arne Duncan recognized this deficiency in a speech in 2010, saying that K-12 schools must be part of the solution to our national language gap. But 5 years later, only 18.5% of K-12 students are even learning a language in school. And in the U.S., only 10 states require world language study for graduation, and none require any demonstrated proficiency. That's not just shocking. It's a direct contradiction to what our own American businesses have unequivocally stated that they need from their workforce. In a survey of human resource managers conducted by the Partnership for 21st Century Skills, 63% of participants cited world language proficiency as increasing in importance for their future hiring needs. That's more than for any other skill in the survey. Clearly, there is a mismatch between what the majority of students are studying in our schools and the skills their future employers say they will need in our interconnected, knowledge-based society. As a classroom teacher, I have seen the many ways world language study empowers students for life after high school. In addition to forging lifelong friendships through travel and study abroad, my students have accepted positions with multinational companies and humanitarian organizations in the U.S. and around the world, thanks in large part to their language skills. This is possible because students in today's language classes aren't spending every day in sit and get learning or run-of-the-mill practice. Instead, they are using French, Spanish, Chinese to comprehend, but also analyze and evaluate a variety of multimedia documents from around the world on a range of topics, from nutrition to careers to science and technology to human rights. Certainly, they are building language skills and cultural knowledge, but they are also developing media and information literacies, skills they will need to work with complex texts in any language, no matter what path they take after high school. But students aren't just consumers of language, they are producers of language. They are engaged in rich, relevant language learning experiences that connect them to language speakers around the world. For example, through the Peace Corps Worldwide Schools program, my students use French as the language of communication to collaborate and connect with the Peace Corps volunteer and the residents of the village in Africa where she lives and works. Together, we are all building cross-cultural understanding and tackling some real-world problems in French. These are just some examples of the many ways today's language learners go beyond memorizing words and phrases to also develop critical 21st century literacies, establish meaningful global connections, and engage in worthwhile, authentic work, with activities completed for an audience beyond the teacher and a purpose greater than a grade. These are exactly the skills, literacies, and experiences American business and industry have told us they need K-12 schools to develop. We simply can't afford to have only 1/5 of American students enrolled in language programs, leaving the other 80% ineligible for potentially hundreds of thousands of American jobs. And we cannot continue sending the message that proficiency doesn't matter, when in fact, world languages are preparation for the real-world communication challenges and opportunities American companies, organizations, and communities face every day. World languages build college and career readiness. World languages foster global civic engagement and cross-cultural understanding. World languages are preparation for life.